And, Coach, we are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be taken short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On second and 9, Prescott, and he's got Ezekiel Elliott. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They just played. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Then he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a first down following a gain of 3. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
46.
Now Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. And their route running savvy.
Here we go. 480. Check 53. Hang on. Here we go. 47.
Short yardage, Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will get the football at their 20.
Ready.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Check.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
X3, 218, chop.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 30. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24, 124. 5'9".
Now Breeze. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and now it's 2nd down. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And he'll go down at the 28. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I enjoyed watching Robert Quinn in pregame warm-ups with you down on the field. Did it surprise you how tall and angular he is? You wouldn't think he'd be able to play against the run that well, would you?
But he can, and he showed it right there, didn't he?
That's that wrestling background he has. He understands leverage as well as anyone in the game. A big-time wrestler in high school. He didn't lose very often.
3-time heavyweight state champ in South Carolina. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be taken very short. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
With the score, Saints 3, Cowboys nothing.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Kill. Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine.
On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Number 53. Mike 53. Rack. We're going to 54. Wide in. 47. 53 to Mike. 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
95, 56.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
Check 3. Sammy.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
Check out 3. Check 26.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Opposite. Kill.
On 2nd and 9, Breeze. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Almost to the yard. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Check. Break it down, fellas. Break it down.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. To throw, it's Breeze. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 18.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a first down.
Kill. Blue down. Pilot, 64, weak. He's coming, double up.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. They've allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw on second and 10. Breeze. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Saints on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Watch twist.
Now Breeze again. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jalen Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Bryant's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal, but all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, and you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there is, guess what, guys? We take this ball, move it downfield, and put it in the end zone, we're right back to even.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
It's a gain of 5, brings up 2nd and 5.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game. That game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness. Did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Prescott looks to throw on first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Kill. We're going to 54 right here. Hey, 47. Sweat.
Prescott now from the 50. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
3rd
3rd and long for Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Now, their two drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting sixes on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Breeze now to throw. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room.
Check. We're going to 52. We're going to 52.
Been a long day for you.
Back. We're going to 54. Right here. Under. 26.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
55's Mike, guys. Easy. Check pass. Yes.
To throw is Breeze. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Ready.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here's a
quick throw caught by Smith. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Hey, high 7. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Watch the slants, watch the slants.
Here we go. 50. Mike's 50. Watch the run.
Now Breeze on third down. That is caught. It's Perriman. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
He's checking. 5-9. Whoa.
Throwing now is Breeze. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Zoo.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 36. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Breeze. That'll be complete to Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 18.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
He's not going to get me.
Kill.
Check 25, check 25.
54, you kill. Check. Watch. 5. I'm coming for you, son. Hey, 1 second.
Breeze now. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Cooper was the target there, but it's going to be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Check 24. Check 24. 36. 36. No. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line in. Big gap. Check. Lucky. Here we go. 47. 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
On third down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 35. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10.
Here we go, 46. Good catch. Go, get out there.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but it's still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Breeze. And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the eye. Jim. Easy. Good on.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll swing this complete out to Hill. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Check. Kill. 11. Hey, Charlie.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 10 yards, good for his Saints. 1st down.
Saints, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready. 5-9.
Here we go. Alert flare.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
13. 22. Hey, easy.
Again, they'll throw with Breeze. And his throw is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
47. Check. 47. You can't block me.
Hey, easy.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. The open man is Smith. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Check three.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
47's the mark.
You're good. Line 4, ready.
Here's Breeze. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
You better be afraid of me.
Hey, kill.
53 is the mark.
Prescott from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Check 59, Mike is 59, Mike is 59. Let's go, B. Big shit.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it.
Check. Press down. We're going to 54. Why ain't? Check 56. Come to my work. Here we go, 46. 26.
The Cowboys will go. Prescott. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And no, it's incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it. There. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
You got nothing today. You got nothing. Switch. You kill. Watch. Twitch on travel.
The busy night continues for Kamara. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Kamara. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The kick by Bryant is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made 1 more play, could have had our shutout.
On the ground, this is Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 17 there and a New Orleans first down.
5-9.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there.